Phoenix, it's not growing, it's rewiring. In 2026, we have mega projects popping up that just don't create jobs. They change traffic patterns, rents, school demand, new hotspots, and home values. And here's the truth, when you see where the money is going, you can see where the people are going before anyone else does. See, you've heard that old saying, just follow the money and everything else will fall into place. Well, that's true when it comes to Phoenix development and where things are going in 2026. So don't go anywhere, because I'm gonna break down all the massive projects to watch, the ones that are most influential, the ones tied to chips, AI, logistics, resorts, and mall redevelopments, and what it means for population growth and housing over the next 12 to 36 months. Oh, and you're gonna wanna stay to the very end, because I'm gonna reveal the best relocation shortcut that nobody's talking about. So if you're moving to Phoenix and you want the best shot at future appreciation, I'm gonna tell you the one thing to watch for that no one talks about that predicts the growth before it shows up in future home prices. But before we go any further, if you have any questions at all, don't be shy. We get people reaching out to us almost on a daily basis the entire year. Give us a call, shoot us a text at 480-660-5974. We would love to have a one-on-one chat with you about your specific needs and answer any questions you have about Phoenix real estate. We also have a list at all times of 20 to 30 off-market properties that will never hit the market that we trade or someone on our teams trades to a buyer or a seller before they even go online. So give us a call. We'd love to chat with you. Now, I'm going to affectionately call this the 2026 boom map for Phoenix. And my promise to you is that by the end of this video, you'll know the 3 main areas that will see the highest demand spikes by the end of this year. And these areas, they're amazing. But again, this is not financial advice. This is just great market insight. Now, this is no secret, but this has to be stated because the big theme is that Phoenix is becoming a huge job and infrastructure magnet. You see, chips plus AI plus logistics plus hospitality, that equals more high-paying jobs, more migration, and more housing demand. Now that's the good news. Now there is some bad news. Not everything is always rosy. As we always talk about, we give you the real, raw truth on this channel with our videos. And with all those positive things, the flip side is this puts more pressure on our grid for power and the water supply, roads, and housing. Because the old saying goes, when jobs land, rooftops follow. So now that I set the stage, I think you get the point. Let's talk about the big project number 1. Burlington Northern Santa Fe Rail Hub and Logistics Park in Whitman. See, BNSF, the major railroad across the United States of America, they're planning an enormous freight railroad hub and logistics warehouse across more than 4,000 acres in rural Whitman. And its main goal is to supply support for all the ballooning warehousing that's happening along the West Valley. Why? Because it's still much cheaper for major companies to house and warehouse all their stuff and supplies coming in from overseas, from the West Coast, being shipped and railed over to the Phoenix area than it is storing them in California. Now, this project will create thousands of jobs and millions of dollars in tax revenue, but the locals out in Whitman, they don't want it because they're in Whitman for a reason, to keep it rural. And well, this may impose on that rural way of life, because if they wanted to live like that, they'd move to the Phoenix area. But Whitman is separated, not connected to the Phoenix MSA. Now, eventually at some point, it's gonna keep growing, and so it's probably inevitable, but for now, the residents of Whitman, they're holding tight, and we'll see what happens in 2026. Number 2 on the list is gonna be located in the north central area of Phoenix, and this is called simply PV. See, this sits on the former Paradise Valley Mall site, and because that was a traditional mall, it's been bulldozed, knocked down, and this is PV reimagined. And reimagined, it is as a mixed-use development that has some high-end stuff and some really cool overall concept. Now, it's anchored by Whole Foods, but it has a rental, multi-unit, huge complex. Also, a huge Lifetime Fitness location that will be accompanied by Lifetime branded residential units. The gym is set to open the first half of 2026, with the residences expected to be completed by 2027. And in addition to all the cool restaurants that are popping up around there, the headquarters of the guitar maker Fender is also located right here. Now, this is a phenomenal location that has a completely reimagined concept from an old, dark, dreary mall built many decades ago. Number 3 on the list is going to be Glendale's VAI Resort. Now, you can't have a mega or massive project to watch without mentioning this resort. This resort is enormous. It's been delayed a little bit, but it's set to open in 2026. The resort includes 1,100 rooms, restaurants, an amphitheater, and a Mattel Adventure Park, not to mention its own beach. Yeah, that's right. Not the ocean, but a beach nonetheless. Oh, guys, the Mattel Adventure Park is needed. Phoenix doesn't have a major Six Flags or major amusement park with the huge roller coasters, and so we need something now, albeit Mattel Adventure Park is not gonna be like that. It's still gonna have some pretty cool rides, including the Hot Wheels roller coaster. Number 4 is gonna be Buc-ee's of Arizona. That's right, a gas station, but it has a cult-like following that is incredible, that people love to stop and shop at. And this is not your normal gas station. This is a 74,000 square foot store that should be open in 2026. Now, this is located in Goodyear, Arizona, and Buc-ee's in Goodyear will be known, like all the Buc-ee's, for a gargantuan store with a ton of different things for sale, but most importantly, probably the clean bathrooms. Number 5 on the list, but easily could have been number 1, is the TSMC expansion. That's right, the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company is the mega project probably in the entire country. A $165 billion project with tens of billions of dollars being spent alone in 2026. And it just acquired 900 acres additionally south of its current plant location that it paid $197 million for. And although plans have not been disclosed as to what's going to go specifically there, it's going to continue to expand. So be on the look for that. Number 6 is going to be North Park, Phoenix. Now, I won't go in detail on this one, but needless to say, this is going to be a ton of housing, mixed use, multifamily located around the TSMC campus that's going to provide much needed housing for a lot of employees and all the thousands of jobs that will come as suppliers of TSMC make their way to plant their flag next to the mega plant to make sure it has its stake in the future of chip manufacturing in North Phoenix. And number 7, in addition to North Park comes Halo Vista. Halo Vista is another massive mixed-use master plan community underway near TSMC, spanning 2,300 acres and up to 30 million square feet of commercial space with retail, office, hospitality, and the list goes on. But the first 2 key users in 2026 that will plant their flag in Halo Vista will be 2 Marriott hotels and, of course, a Costco, because you gotta have Costco, right? And coming in at number 8 is the Peoria Innovation Core. Now, this is just to the west of the TSMC campus along the 303 loop area, and I've affectionately called this the supply corridor for TSMC going into 2026 and beyond, because there's so much land out there off the 303 that there are so many places for zone commercial, zone residential to be built and bought, and it will be built up over the next 10, 15 years. But in 2026, the Peoria Innovation Core project envisions turning the land, which spans nearly 7,000 acres, into a hub for advanced manufacturers and semiconductor suppliers, just like Amkor, who already signed up to go to this core. Amkor Technology is one of the largest suppliers for TSMC, and it's going to be sitting right down the street from its main campus. Speaking of land, there are mega parcels that are being auctioned off and purchased by residential publicly traded home builders that are buying these knowing that Phoenix is going to continue to expand. So I don't think these companies will be buying these 100-acre parcel plus lots without thinking that they need housing for all the new jobs that are coming to the Phoenix area over the next several years. Some examples are a 272-acre parcel in Buckeye, 324 acres in Santan Valley, and 473 acres in Mesa that was just bought by Lennar Homes. So Phoenix is poised to continue to expand, and the rooftops, they have to follow those jobs. Number 9, next on the list is going to be the Parque. Yeah, P-A-R-Q-U-E. Yeah, I know, it's French, I believe. And that is going to be the development on the old Cracker Jacks plot of land, which is prime real estate right off Scottsdale Road in North Scottsdale. This is going to be centered after Central Park in New York City. And even though it's much, much smaller, a lot of commercial space for businesses to rent, etc. But it's also going to have a ton of living with mixed use and multi-family condos at the park, with the Central Park area right in the center of it all. The next step for 2026 is to move forward on construction drawings and submit for building permits, but there's no word if it's going to start going vertical yet by the end of 2026. Number 10 and next on the list is going to be down in the East Valley in Gilbert, Arizona. This is called The Ranch. This is a $1 billion mixed-use development, which the East Valley city hasn't seen a whole lot of. It is a 221-acre project that will have 729 multifamily units and nearly 90,000 square feet of commercial space. And construction, yep, it's set to start in Q2 of 2026, so be on the lookout for that down in Gilbert. Number 11 and next on the list is going to be Santan Valley. Guys, congratulations, Santan Valley, you are officially now a town. You are no longer an unincorporated area in the Phoenix metropolitan area. You're now officially a town. So you now are a big boy, big girl place that people can actually be proud of to call its own place, its own town. And what does that signal? Well, that signals future growth and being more bullish on this town continuing to expand down in Pinal County. So that is pretty exciting. Next, at number 12 is going to be the Sprouts Market new headquarters. Sprouts is doubling down on its City North new location, which is a beautiful Class A building they have constructed for its corporate headquarters. And its headquarters, including all of the office space, will also include their flagship store that will be 25,000 square feet as they sprout right there in the city north area, right next to Desert Ridge in North Phoenix, bordering just west of Scottsdale. Number 12 is going to be the Discovery Oasis biotech campus. Guys, this one is huge. Why? Because it involves two major employers and players in the Phoenix local economy, which is the Mayo Clinic and Arizona State University. It's located just south of Desert Ridge, south of the 101, next to the current Mayo Hospital. Now, Mayo is currently continuing to expand its footprint around its current hospital, and ASU is joining the party. This will be home to a lot of biotech and life science companies, and the amount of jobs that will be added to this little section alone is in the thousands and thousands. So this is going to be a big project to look for that's going to make some heavy headway in 2026. Next on the list is going to be Chandler Fashion Square, the remodel. Okay, guys, who said that traditional malls are dead? Well, they kind of are, unless they're glitzy, upscale, and really nice, just like Scottsdale Fashion Square. Well, Chandler Fashion Square is already pretty nice, but it's gonna have a facelift and a full renovation. So congratulations to all the residents in the East Valley, because you're gonna have an even nicer mall to go to here in the near future. Next is gonna be the headquarters of Axon. Now, this has been a highly debated topic between the city council and the developer Axon, who owns a large parcel of land in a prime location just inside the 101 loop in Scottsdale. And because they own the land, they also wanted to do additional development with multifamily units and some commercial space. But at first, the city of Scottsdale said, no, you can only do your headquarters. Well, Axon threatened to then pull the headquarters and go somewhere else and move the company, which would leave a lot of jobs on the table. But they hammered out a deal. The Scottsdale City Council approved their headquarters, and they limited some of the multifamily units to go in there, but it got done ultimately, and in 2026, that project will start getting underway. Next on the list, this might be my favorite one to talk about, is the Astra Tower. I don't know why, guys, because I always have this fascination when I go to a new city of seeing the skyline of a downtown. I think it's pretty cool to see these high rises, how many and how it forms and shapes the downtown. Ever since I was a kid, I've been like that. And Phoenix is okay, but for the size of population of a city that it is, the 5th largest city in the country, the skyline is not terribly impressive. But that's going to change a little bit with the Astra Tower. Now, it's only going to be 43 stories, but for Phoenix, that's actually pretty tall, and it will increase the visibility of our skyline. So I'm hopeful to see that project, which is supposed to be now approved and getting traction and to be underway in 2026. Next is going to be the explosion of Buckeye, Arizona. Guys, you know Buckeye is actually the second largest city in the entire state by land mass, but by population, not even close. That's going to change over the next several decades. In 2026, Buckeye's getting a head start on heading that direction. They have a bunch of new housing that was approved with Terra Vallis, which is a new master plan community, which will include 37,000 of new square feet of housing. Not to mention all the retail options that are popping up along the I-10 corridor that cuts right through Buckeye. In fact, more than 1 million square feet of retail and residential space is on the books, scheduled coming Buckeye's way. Oh, and Verrado, yeah, one of the coolest communities in the entire state of Arizona, that's also located in Buckeye, and that is getting some more development. In fact, construction on the 500,000 square foot Verrado Marketplace is scheduled to open May of 2026 with a bevy of shops and stores. This is well needed because Verrado is a place people seek after to live, and to have more commercial activity, entertainment, and things to do around Verrado is very, very smart, and will continue to attract more and more people to move and build new houses in and around that area. Next on the list, well, this is a good one because this is the Ritz Carlton Paradise Valley luxury hotel that is continued to be stalled multiple times, but hopefully set to be completed in 2026. See, it's so close to being done, but because of issues with financing, capital investments, and legal battles, it has started and stalled, and now we hope that eventually it's resolved now, and 2026 will be the year, because this is going to be gorgeous. In fact, the 122-acre master plan community was proposed in 2007, and hopefully will finally be complete almost 20 years later. The main resort includes 215 rooms, there are 80 condominiums on the property, and 32 single-family luxurious large homes. Not to mention the Palmer, which is a luxury shopping center that is going to be gorgeous when that's finally all finished and built out. The next one is the Scottsdale Quarter's $100 million refresh. Yeah, that's right. Scottsdale Quarter, which is not that old, one of the most premier outdoor shopping areas to go to, located in north central Scottsdale, was just bought by new owners, and it's already going to get a $100 million refresh. So it's going to be even more special when this is all said and done. Now that wraps up the massive projects that are going on in 2026 that you really should be aware of. Now there are a lot more than that, but those are the ones that are noteworthy that you should be aware of. Because why? Housing, population, migration, businesses, all this stuff is tied together. So this will help you be fully informed on what to do and make your next move, whether you're already local, moving up or down, or looking to relocate to the Phoenix area. Speaking of which, what is that relocation shortcut I mentioned at the very beginning? Well, I'm glad you asked, because now I'm going to reveal that to you. This has been tried, true, and timeless from my time spending 21 years as a local realtor right here in the Phoenix Scottsdale area. So I'm going to give it to you right now, and this is very, very applicable to where you may want to look to purchase or live next. But I call this the 3I growth signal. Infrastructure plus industry plus intentional housing. You see, when all three are happening in the same corridor of town, that's usually where population growth accelerates, retail follows, school services expand, and housing demand stays very strong. And this is how you spot the next areas early, not after prices have already moved. So let me give you a real simple framework to work within to know where these spots are going to be. Number one, infrastructure. Can it handle growth? Are there new interchanges? Are there freeway access? How are the roads, and how can traffic flow in and out? Number two, industry. Are stable jobs moving in? Are there growth patterns for jobs and businesses coming into the area? Number three, I call this intentional housing. Is real housing being built or in plans to be built very soon? We're not talking a couple infill lots, we're talking large master planned communities. Are there multi-family units being built that can be resold and or leased? Very important. And of course, lastly, what are the commercial centers that are going to be around that area? The parks, the recreation, and of course, schools. They'll all give you a good hint as to what is coming down the pike for a corridor that's going to explode with housing values appreciating. Okay, so now you're probably asking, well, where are those corridors, Kelly? Where are those places in the future I should be looking for? Just go ahead and tell me, give me the answer. Okay, you convinced me, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm gonna give you actually 3, so write these down. And these corridors are based on what's in the pipeline. Number 1, here's the first corridor. This should come as no surprise, but this is gonna be called the North Phoenix Loop 303 corridor. Why? Well, primarily because of TSMC. Now, there's so much more happening that I demonstrated on this video, let alone others, besides just TSMC in this area. But this area is going to explode. There's a reason why TSMC chose this parcel of land and this area of town to put their massive project, because they knew there was areas around there that will explode with it and it can grow with it. So in addition to all the other people who own a house around there already, kudos to you. If you're looking for an investment or future place to call home that you want to ride that wave, then that corridor is my number 1. So let's see quick if it checks all those boxes. Number 1, industry. Yeah, semiconductors, chips, AI, and suppliers. Number 2, infrastructure. Yeah, I-17, which is currently expanding as well, and the Loop 303 cutting right through there. Intentional housing. Absolutely. Not only is there a lot of housing and subdivisions already around this area, but there's a lot of open space, and several major home builders have already purchased 100+ acre parcels to start getting all their plans ready to go to build around this area. And more will be bought and sold from some of the state land in the future. In fact, I'd venture to say this is gonna be one of the top 5 corridors for housing in the future in the entire United States of America, most likely, because of the money flows, businesses, and people follow. Corridor number 2 is gonna be the West Valley, specifically the Buckeye Goodyear corridor. Now I say this because this is where the I-10 and the Loop 303 actually meet along those lines. This is the future of expansion for the West Valley. See, the West Valley is not up and coming anymore. It's already here. And this corridor, yeah, it checks all 3. Industry, logistics, distribution, and plenty of support jobs. Infrastructure, yep, you have the I-10 and the Loop 303 coming right down through these areas. And it's continuing to have more and more infrastructure, roads being built out. Intentional housing, absolutely. Big parcels being bought of plenty of homes that are being built out in the Goodyear and Buckeye area. There's no shortage of land, and therefore no shortage of homes that will be built in the future to support the growth of all of the activity happening in data centers in that area. You see, this is where a lot of Phoenix's next population is going to land. Ultimately, because it still hits the affordability button, at least for now. Corridor number 3 is gonna be the Southeast Valley, kind of the Queen Creek, Santan Valley area, because this is poised to continue to explode. Let's check the boxes. Number 1, industry. There are ongoing employers continually going to the Southeast Valley, most notably recently the LG factories out there in the Queen Creek area down there. Infrastructure, there are plenty of new state routes and interstates coming to this area, including State Route 24, which is continuing to expand, and the proposed new State Route 505 that's going to be coming at some point here in the near future. So you will have that infrastructure in this area. And intentional housing, absolutely. There is already a lot of housing. In fact, I would say this corridor is already a little bit ahead of the curve with a lot of housing that's in the works already from master plan, large parcels of land and communities, but there is more on the docket to be built in the future as well. So what does this mean for Phoenix at the end of the day? It means the next chapter of population growth is not random. It is predictable and it's coming. It's going to follow the job engines, the infrastructure, and the corridors where housing can actually be built. And what that means is that demand will stay steady for those right areas. And some pockets will of course outperform others, like I think those 3 corridors will. And so if you're relocating, the best move isn't what's popular, it's what is positioned. And I think those 3 corridors are positioned very well for future home appreciation. So if you're looking to relocate to Phoenix, Arizona, or maybe looking to move sideways, up or down because you already live here, give us a call. We would love to chat with you. Call us at 480-660-5974. I'd love to pull up a map and discuss those specific places with you and other places that are not part of those corridors because maybe you're looking for something different. Maybe you're not concerned about where the next boom place is going to be in the Phoenix area. You're looking for a different lifestyle, a different something that we can help pinpoint for you. Because the truth is, people don't regret moving to Phoenix, they regret moving to the wrong place within Phoenix. So know the map, know the details, know the intricacies of the ins and outs of everything. And that's what 21 years of selling real estate right here in Phoenix will get you. And that's stuff that you can't watch on a video or read in a book. Oh, if you're looking for the best luxurious places to live in Phoenix, then watch the video on the screen next.